Hey y'all, Luck here from Fox 3, and today I have a very special video for you. I participated in a training course on F15 with Spudknocker. Spudknocker was kind enough to give me a one-on-one training because we provided servers for him. And one thing I wanted to mention here is Spudknocker does this for people that need help and his Patreons, and you should check with him because he is very knowledgeable on several planes. I think all of them. And he did a great training class with me, and he's got the patience to go through it with you. Teaches you everything. In this video, you'll see us do cold start, taxi takeoff, ingress to target navigation, laser guided bomb drops, air to air, and then return to base, land, and shut down. So it's a complete video for the F-15. It really helped me a lot, and I'd like to send a special thanks to Spudknocker for doing that for me. I really appreciate it, and enjoy the video. But well, I just enjoy it.
You are flying a bomber.
yes, I know. So I'm definitely going to learn the pod. I can't wait till this thing hopefully gets some harms. I want to get good with it on using some laser guided bombs and some JDAM stuff like that. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, first thing to do is, of course, let's put a loadout on the jet.
Okay.
So go to, of course, you know the drill. I don't need that.
So do we want less than 100% fuel so we don't have to have...
I was actually going to make you take off with a really heavy jet just because it's...
Perfect.
So I was going to go... Why don't we go with AIM-120s on 2 Alpha and 8 Bravo.
Uh-huh.
And AIM-9 mics on 2 Bravo and 8 Alpha.
Okay.
Let's go with kind of the usual strike loadout of fuel tanks on 2 and 8.
Okay.
And then we'll go for, on the right-hand CFT, let's go for, are you okay, pretty good with dropping just dumb bombs, or should we do some dumb bomb practice?
Yeah, dumb bombs are fine.
Okay. So I guess we'll just skip right ahead to, let's go with like 4 GBU-12s on the right CFT.
Okay.
And I guess 4 GBU-12s on the left CFT.
All right, GBU-12s.
And then essentially for the stations 3, 4, 6, and 7 Charlie, that's for adding AIM-120s or AIM-7s to your CFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Then station 5 is just another station for a single bomb or another fuel tank.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it for that. And then hit OK. And of course, the ground crew will do their thing.
Okay, on 8 and 2, we're bringing external tanks or no?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Just so that way I can show you the takeoff with the chunky jet.
Yeah. 30,000 pounds.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, I have 2 tanks. Do you want a third tank on 5?
No, let's not do that.
All right. I have 4 missiles and 8 bombs.
Okay. Sweet. Do you know the cold start procedure, or do you want me to walk you through it?
I don't know it. Usually I just hit no kid Windows Home and
okay.
do it that way.
Gotcha. So basically, first thing you want to do is you want to find the volume panel just outboard and aft of your throttle. So it's actually labeled VOL MISC panel.
Volume MISC, got it.
And then see the mic switch?
Uh-huh.
It's in the off position. We want to put that to on, so that way I just like to be in the habit of turning that on, so that way we can talk to our Wizzo in the backseat if we're using SRS.
Copy that. Mic on.
And then moving forward of that, on that outboard section of that left-hand console, we want to stop the transfer of fuel from our CFTs while we're on the ground.
Okay.
So we've got the conformal tank switch, set that to the stop transfer position.
See, that's on the...
yep, fuel panel right there.
Yep. Conformal tanks.
And then it's top right on that fuel panel.
Top
right-hand side.
Right here?
That's
right,
side.
Dumbass.
Yeah. And then forward of that, that's your slipway for air-to-air refueling. Just forward of that, switch just forward of that. But want to turn that to closed. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. This one here, conformal norm.
Yep.
Okay.
Forward to the stop transfer position.
Stop. I saw trans but not stop. There it is. Got it.
Yep. And then just forward of that switch, we've got our inlet ramp switches. We want to set those to auto.
Okay.
Those 2 silver guys there. So this is kind of like the only jet in DCS where you have to do a whole bunch of like cockpit prep before you even start up the aircraft.
Yeah, a little switchology here.
Yeah, exactly. So let me catch up to you here. Got my inlet ramp switches. Okay, then moving all the way across by your right knee to the engine panel and oxygen panel.
Engine, right?
We want, yep. So we want to turn our oxygen to the on position. That little green knob in the top right of that box. There you go. And then essentially all of the engine switches. See the row of generator switches labeled Gen, L, and R. Just set all four of those guys to on.
Okay.
Then the engine master switches, which are the guarded green switches, set those to on and re-guard them.
Okay.
The starter switch to on as well. And then, kind of hard to see, but there is a switch for the air conditioning behind the canopy closing handle. So if you see the canopy closing handle on the right wall of the cockpit.
Right wall. This is the closing handle right here?
Yep. And
Okay.
see, if you kind of shift your shoulders a bit, or you can just close your canopy, either way.
Oh.
Okay, so see if there's an air conditioning panel that was right where the handle was.
Oh, yeah.
The off-man auto switch needs to go to the auto position. Forward left. There you go. And now we're ready to actually start our jet.
All right.
That little switch there is really important because we don't want to burn up our avionics if we don't have avionics cooling on engine start.
Okay.
So now all we need to do is there is a handle on the bottom right of the instrument panel labeled jet fuel starter. Just
Bottom
pull on that
right.
of the instrument
panel.
Yep.
This one.
So that is that guy right there. Yeah, looks like a emergency brake handle.
How many times?
Just once.
Oh, okay.
If you pull it multiple times, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything.
Okay.
And then we have, once that is going, we should get a green ready light illuminated on the starter switch that we turned on earlier.
There it is.
Once that is on, we can do our first fire test. So on the discharge test switch on the left-hand side of the instrument panel, just give that a left click.
Discharge test left side instrument panel.
Up by just to the left of the left MFD. See the MFD?
Yep. Hit test.
There you go. Yep.
Warning, AMAD
Down to test.
fire. Warning, AMAD fire.
All right.
And you just want to make sure that one light illuminates, and Bitch and Betty will go through her script.
Yep.
And now we can crank our engines.
All righty.
So, to crank an engine, you just want to pull up on the finger lift on the front end of the right-hand throttle.
Okay.
So you can click on it, or you can use a keybind for it.
Oops. I have to click on it. The right one first.
Yep.
I guess
Just click it once,
Okay.
and it will start to spin up for you.
Okay. I heard a noise.
Yep, that's what you want to hear.
There
And
it
then
is. There's my RPMs.
Yep. That'll stabilize at 25% RPM or so.
Okay.
Just one more click on the discharge test switch, and you should see 3 lights this time.
Warning, AMAD
Yep.
fire.
And then you can hit
AMAD fire.
right shift
Warning,
and home to
engine
bring
fire.
the
Left.
right throttle to the
Warning,
idle P10.
Engine fire left. Warning,
Okay.
engine fire right. Warning,
Right shift home.
engine
Got it.
fire
Yep.
right. Warning, AMAD
And
fire.
it looks like it's in
Warning,
idle,
AMAD fire.
and you should
Warning,
see
engine
the
fire
RPM
left.
start to creep up.
Warning, engine fire
Yep.
left. Warning,
Nice.
engine fire right. Warning, engine fire
Fuel's registering.
right. Warning, AMAD fire. Warning, AMAD fire.
Lots of warnings.
Warning, engine fire
Yep.
left. Warning, engine fire
That's
left.
normal.
Warning, engine fire right.
All right.
Warning, engine
And-
fire right.
Once that is up, it'll stabilize at 72% RPM, and you can crank the left-hand engine by pulling up on the left throttle finger lift.
Did that. I guess I jumped a
once-
little ahead there.
No, you're good. You're good. You've been flying in DCS for a long time, so you know how a jet works. So I'm just walking you through the steps. Is all. And then once that stabilizes at 26% RPM, do the final fire test, and you should have 5 lights illuminated, and Bitch and Betty's script will be pretty darn long.
All right.
And then right Alt and Home to introduce fuel to that left-hand engine.
All right. Fire, let's see, doing right shift home, right
Yep.
shift.
Or it's right Alt Home, actually.
Oh, right alt home.
Yep.
Got it. And fire test.
Warning. AMAT
There it is.
Yep.
fire. Warning. AMAT fire. Warning. Engine
And you
fire.
should be good.
Left. Warning. Engine fire.
I think we have wheel
left.
chocks on, don't we?
Warning.
Yep.
Engine fire. Right. Warning.
We do have wheel
Engine
chocks.
Fire. Right. AB burn through. Left.
Now,
AB
so one
burn
key
through.
thing
Left.
to do
AB
in the
burn through.
F15E
Right. AB
is
burn
once we
through.
have our
Right.
engines going, turn the brake hold on down by the jet fuel starter.
Yep, I already did that one.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
Yeah, that one's
you got
burned
that.
me on some of my practices.
Yeah, yeah. And now we can just start turning on, displays, systems, HUD, all of that good stuff.
Alrighty, and now on. There's a HUD button for the HUD somewhere. I remember seeing this one. Hold on.
Yep, so that one,
There's HUD. Can make it
Yep.
a little brighter, maybe.
so the brightness is over there. That's the contrast and brightness for the nav FLIR on the HUD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then brightness is for this. Okay. And
And then brightness for the HUD is underneath where you increase the brightness for, there you go.
perfect. Okay. There we
Sweet.
are.
And then on your, essentially your sensor panel, which is the panel aft of the throttle, basically just want to turn the radar to standby, radar altimeter on, terrain following radar to standby, nav FLIR to standby, INS to GC, and JTIDs to norm.
And what is JTIDs?
That's what the F15E calls data link. It's not.
Okay.
It doesn't work right now.
Okay.
But it's good to be in the habit of turning that on, I suppose.
All right. Turn on my lights. Do I need my positional lights?
Not during the daytime necessarily. And then radar alt to on,
Radar.
which is just the left of your radar
There it goes.
knob. Sweet. And yeah, so at this point, the INS is aligning. If you look up on your HUD, you can see GC something something,
Yep. GC hold.
GC hold. So that means that, were you moving your stick at all?
No.
Okay, so the F-15's INS is like really sensitive.
Okay.
So what you can do is take the INS switch and turn it to off for a couple seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So any movement of the jet at all
Let me-
is going to make the INS go wonky.
Right. I took
in
my
the
feet off the
alignment.
pedals. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, that might have been it. So you don't want to do any flight control tests or anything like that while it's aligning. So
Okay.
go back to GC
And GC.
and then check the HUD, and you should be
PP
good.
rec.
Yeah. Okay. So PP required. So gonna have to open up your knee board at this point, and then see your initial position, latitude, longitude.
Right.
You'll have to put that into your UFC.
Okay.
So on the UFC keypad,
Yep.
hit the shift key, SHF on the UFC.
SHF.
On the right-hand side of the keypad on the UFC. See
This-
the numbers on the keypad?
This is the UFC right here, right? Oh, down here. Okay. SHF.
Yep.
There it is. Got it.
Hit that, and then hit 2 for north.
There it is. I see a little thing there now. I can hit my.
Yep.
I want 32, 40, 75. So 3, 2, 4, 0. Do I have to put the 075?
Yes, 075.
All right. And then SHF again.
Nope. We need to then add this number in the scratch pad into the northing line on your UFC. So just under where it says PP, hit the button that has northing, that same value that we just put in. So put in next one down. There you go. And then we need to put in the same,
For
the
east.
easting value. So it's going to be shift east 6.
Thank you.
And then we have to put in a preceding 0 here, so it's going to be 035.
Okay. 035 10 653. And then
You got it. And then that goes in the easting line.
got it.
Sweet. And then if you look up on your HUD, it should be aligning.
GC no taxi.
Yep. So basically it just means don't move the jet and don't move any control surfaces or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, learn that hard way, huh?
Yeah. That happened to me in the mission yesterday where something happened where I think I accidentally hit my rudder pedals or turned my parking brake on, and that shifted the jet just enough that I needed to realign the jet.
Ah.
Kind of annoying. So while that's going, you can just kind of do some, admin work in the cockpit here. So I like to uncage my standby ADI. You can set your altimeter setting on the standby altimeter. All that good stuff.
2992 is what we are at. Let's see what we are.
It's like here we're at 2979er.
2979.
And then, do you know how to program your displays in the F-15?
Not yet.
Okay. So, see how your MF... Yeah.
So let me tell you what I do know. So I know the radar.
Okay.
I go to M2, and then let's see, where is it now?
You're on menu 3 actually right now. So see how it's... Or sorry, you're on M2 right now. Go back to M1. M1 is going to be where your radar is.
Ah, so let's see.
But there's a really cool feature that is going to be... Yep. So if you go back to the menu though, to program your displays, you can actually use the castle switch to swap back and forth between any 3 displays that you want.
Oh yeah.
So if you hit the program button in the bottom left, OSB button, now you can select any 3 buttons for any 3 pages that you want to be able to quickly switch to. So on my left MFD, I usually go air-to-air radar.
Uh-huh.
And then I also select armament page.
Oh, look at that. Cool.
Yeah. And then also, I like to also set my 2s, which is essentially your RWR. That's the TEWS.
Yep.
And then hit program again to save it. And then if you go castle switch left, short, you'll swap between those 3 screens.
Castle switch left. Oh, look at that.
Pretty
nice.
cool, right?
Yeah. So there, there's a problem with me. So castle switch left for me is push up on my stick or my throttle, and back is aft. So that's where it throws me off sometimes. Sometimes I think left is aft, and I get those two confused. But now that I have it, and I can feel it and see it, it's working.
Okay. Do you need to rebind those?
Nope, it's good.
Okay.
So over here on this one, I'll program. Let's see, I can do the same thing. Program. First one I'll do is TWS because I like the TWS over here.
I always do TPOD and then the HSI as well. But so great minds think alike. You were on there.
HSI and 2s. How's that?
Yeah, I like having 2s programmed for like all my displays. So that way I can see who's shooting at me.
Right. Okay, and then program. And you can only put 3 in there, or you can do more.
Only 3.
Okay. So this one should be right, right?
Yep, that's gonna be castle switch right.
There it is.
And then on your MPCD, the multi-colored display,
right,
you can select 3 screens on there as well by going to the menu.
Okay, so this is where I would do T-Pod.
Yeah,
And,
I would do TSD and probably the HSI again.
and what's the TSD again?
That's your moving map display,
Oh,
essentially.
okay, yep, okay.
So, and then when you save it, you'll actually have 4 screens available to you on the MPCD. The first screen is your ADI page. So if you try going down.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I see it now. Look at that. It looks better, this screen. Look how cool that looks.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So, cool. So we got that all set. And go ahead and check your alignment, make sure that's good to go.
Nav 1A.
GC OK.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep. So now go ahead and give that INS knob a right click to bring it to the nav position.
Got it.
Nice. One thing I just realized is we did not turn on your radios, so that's important, obviously, in multiplayer.
Yeah, so this is where I didn't know how to do this yesterday when I was trying to fly, so.
So it's all on your UFC, actually, just like in the F-18.
Okay.
So, see, there's 2 channel select knobs on the left and right side of the UFC.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you just scroll your mouse wheel on top of that.
I'm sorry. Scroll. And
Scroll your mouse wheel on top of and that turns your radio on. See how it no longer says R1 off?
Yeah.
And then if you do the same thing on the right side, you'll turn R2 on. And then if you're now, see how you have the asterisk next to the 1 and the asterisk next to the 2 on the right-hand side?
Uh-huh.
That is telling you you're now talking on preset channels.
Right.
If you want to input a manual frequency, hit the GREC C/M button on the keypad.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can type in a discrete frequency and then enter that into the scratch pad. And so you enter it in by clicking on the line that says for the radio 2. So it's the bottom line on the UFC, or the second to the bottom line in the UFC. So click on that little button.
Yep.
So everything in the F15E kind of works like an airliner FMS, where you put a value into the scratch pad and then you enter it into the line by pressing on the button next to the line.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. So now we need to hop into the back seat and just do a couple little things in the back seat to get our Wizzo seat ready to go. Once we get that good to go, we don't need to go to the back seat anymore.
Okay.
So we hit the 2 key. Oh, you're already there. You can turn on the displays if you'd like.
Looks like my...
Pull your throttle back.
Yeah, I as soon as I went to the back seat, it took off.
Yeah. It's probably because of your keybinds for the back seat.
Yeah, they're not. They're screwed up. I see it.
Yep.
Just controls. F15 Wizzo. Throttle. Throttle, idle, throttle. Is there a, for flight controls for throttle, is there a axis?
There should be. I would go to clear out your search there. And then if you go to axis commands, there, thrust. It's thrust left, thrust right.
There we go.
See how it's mapped to like everything right
Yep.
now? Where it says thrust. Clear out all of those.
All right.
And then...
Oops, doggone it, I hit the wrong button.
That's okay.
Thrust.
Go back to... Yeah, axis commands, thrust. Sweet. And now you should be able to pull that power back for you.
Alrighty.
Nice. The rest of the controls don't necessarily matter all that much now that you have everything, once you have everything turned on in the backseat, you really don't have to touch it anymore.
Perfect.
And in real life, you can fly an F-15E without somebody in the backseat, unlike a Tomcat. You just have to turn on a couple things in the backseat.
All right. Do I want to turn this thing on?
Yeah, so you can turn the brightness up on that. That's essentially that's the exact same UFC that is in your front seat, and that's
Okay.
mirrored between each other. So you can both enter in whatever values you need on the UFC.
All right.
And then aft of the UFC, you have an oxygen panel. You just want to turn on oxygen for your Wizzo in the back seat. It's the green knob hidden behind the hand controller there.
Yep.
And then moving aft of that guy, we have the twos panel for RWR. That's going to be, we want to turn ICS switch on, and we want to go RWR on and EWWS on as well.
Okay.
And then after that is our countermeasures panel. We want to set it to semi-auto.
Yeah.
Moving over.
That I didn't know before. Okay.
That's okay. Moving over, we want to set our targeting pod flare switch to the standby position
Is that over here?
on the left side. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Targeting pod.
So it's going to be the flare panel is the forward. Yep. To standby.
Standby.
RWR/ICS, set that to combat instead of training. That's the left switch. And then ICS is, you just set that to auto.
Okay.
Then after that, we've got our mic switch. You turn that to on, just like in the front seat, so we can talk to our front seater if you're ever going to do multiplayer in the back seat.
Okay.
So that's the... And then I guess you could just arm your ejection seat for the Wizzo back there as well. And moving to the front seat again, we should be ready to rock and roll.
Alrighty.
One last thing we need to do is we need to turn on our CAS. So that's going to be the panel just forward of the throttle quadrant. And turn on the yaw, roll, and pitch CAS switches.
Okay. On.
Cool. And at this point, we can go ahead and I guess typically you wouldn't arm your ejection seat well underneath this shelter.
Yeah.
But that's just a thought is just remember to arm your ejection seat there.
Uh-huh.
And now we should be ready to taxi.
Awesome. Let's do
Typically-
canopy, I guess.
Yep.
Canopy's on the right here? No.
Yeah, it's that big black hand right in front of your face. There
Down.
you go. And push it one forward. Yep. And then forward one more time to lock it.
Got it.
Sweet. Next, I like to taxi with my data page up on my UFC, so that way I can see my ground speed.
Okay. So, data
So-
page.
It's a data push tile in the UFC. The UFC keypad.
Oh. Data.
Bottom right of the UFC.
There we go.
And now we can see where it says G0.
Yep.
That's your ground speed.
Ah, I didn't. So it's digital there, huh?
Yep. And then, obviously up to you, whatever you like to have up on your screen for taxi. I typically like to have the HUD repeater as well as, what was the other page I like to have up? That doesn't really matter as much in the F15E, but I like to have usually a HUD repeater up as I'm taxiing, and then maybe the ADI page or something for takeoff. So whatever pages you prefer to have up for taxi.
Okay.
And we'll see what's the wind doing here today.
Looks like 303 at 4 miles. 4 knots.
Okay. Let's see, 303. Okay. Let's take off on runway 27. So that's going to be a left-hand turn coming out of the shelter here, and then we're going to have to cross runway 33. Actually, did you say it's 303 knots?
Yep.
Or sorry, 303 degrees.
Yep, 309 now, 307. It's changed a little bit at 4 knots.
Okay. We'll take off on runway 33 then. So coming out of our shelter, it's going to be a left-hand turn followed by a right-hand turn. That'll take us all the way down to runway 33.
Okay.
So
pull out first? Or you want to pull out first?
You can pull out first. I will follow you down.
All right.
I'll just give you progressive taxi instructions here.
Brake hold off.
Now she's got really powerful engines, so you can taxi real fast, real easy.
Yeah, I'm just an idle. Okay.
And make a right-hand turn there.
Copy that. And we're going to cross over this runway, you said?
Yep. We do have someone else in the server at the moment, so just make sure he's not going to land on us.
Yep, runway clear.
Cool. Whoa, you're an afterburner there.
Yeah, I wasn't moving quick, so I kind of... For some reason, it's like... Am I in brakes or what?
Are your wheel brakes inverted on your axes?
Not that I know of.
Bring up your... hit right shift and enter.
Right shift, enter.
Or right control and enter, I should say, actually.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
It's kind of weird. Why is it not coming up?
There, it's on the left side there.
Oh,
So
there
brakes,
it is.
brakes on, brakes off.
Yeah,
So-
try tapping your brakes here.
Yeah, they're looking good.
And yeah, that's weird. I don't know what the issue is.
That was weird. I couldn't move, but once I started giving a little gusto, it took off again. So,
Huh. That's odd.
yeah. I'm gonna say beta.
Yeah.
Early release, I mean. All right, looks like we're cruising about 18 miles an hour, 18 knots.
The good thing is, it's not like the F16 where you can tip it over very easily, so you don't have to worry about that so much with this jet.
Oh, good. I'm glad you took me through the startup procedure, and I'm gonna have it recorded, so I'm gonna go through that some more.
Yeah, it seems complicated, and it kind of is the first time you go through it, but it's actually quite quick once you get it down. The biggest gotcha is just the things to do before you start up the JFS.
Right.
And then also, if you bump around the controls too much, you can knock the INS off, and it won't align for you. So you have to kind of restart the alignment.
Right. Yeah, my rudder is very, very sensitive for some reason, and I have to probably put a dead zone in it. So if I put my feet on the pedals, it's like turned.
Yeah. Do you have any curves in the F15? Yeah.
Not yet. I have to add my curves. I usually put them like 20 to 25.
Let's do that before we take off, because this jet is super sensitive when you fly it.
I'm gonna hold
So-
short here and do that. Real
Yeah.
quick.
In fact, I'm probably going to increase my curves a little bit and see how that works for me. The jet is just super sensitive in the pitch, and so
Yeah.
it's really hard to air-to-air refuel because it's so sensitive in the pitch.
Right. Let's see. Tune controls. Yeah. Let's do a curve. I'm gonna put like 25, 26.
What rudder pedals are you using?
I have Virpil rudder pedals.
Okay, I put like a dead zone of like 5 to 10 in there.
Yeah. And then let's see. Pitch. Tune. I already have a little bit of I have 18. I'm moving to 25 in the curvature and the pitch.
Yeah, I'm going to go even further than that.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see, already got 30. I'm going to go for like 35.
All right, I'll take mine to 35 too then.
Axis tune, my roll, I'm going to go to also 35 on the roll. And then for my rudders, let's see what I've already got here. My rudders, I've already got 30. It's just a super sensitive jet.
Yeah.
And which is interesting because, like, the F-14 is not a sensitive jet.
Right.
and we're heavier than an F-14. I don't know if it's because we're more stable than an F-14 in the F-15, but it's like the controls are just super, super sensitive. All right, and then runway 33 should be just to your make a left-hand turn, and we should be holding short pretty quick.
All right. Okay, good set. Just to my, do you say left?
Yep.
Copy.
90 left, and then it's going to be, we'll be holding short right up there. You can see the signs for 33 up there.
Copy. Yeah, this is a strange part of Mount David that I don't think I've been taxiing this far before.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting airport.
It is.
I like the Israeli airfields because they're like an interesting blend of like Soviet style airfields and American style airfields. Where
Right.
there's like trees and rocks and things like really close to the taxiways.
Right.
It's not like a golf course like an American Air Force base, you know.
Exactly.
So
All
it's
right,
kinda
holding
cool in
short
that way.
runway.
All right. That's interesting. Why is my jet pulling to the left?
Alignment's off.
Oh, that's why. That's weird. Interesting.
Do you want flaps down for takeoff?
Yes, we do want our flaps down for takeoff, and that is a good reminder. I forgot to tell you to set takeoff trim. So get those flaps down.
Yep.
And then on the CAS panel, we turned on the CAS for yaw, roll, and pitch. We want to press and hold the little takeoff button, T/O, until we get a green trim light that pops up, and the pitch and Betty will say yaw rate, yaw rate.
Okay, where I'm looking again?
Oh, sorry, that's going to be the CAS panel for you.
That's the front center, right?
Yes, so that's going to be just forward of your throttle quadrant on the left console.
Oh, okay. Let's see, the left side. Here we go.
CAS panels is just forward of the throttle quadrant. So forward, not outboard.
Yep, sorry.
Yep, no worries. And then T/O button.
T/O.
Takeoff.
Okay.
Press and hold until. Keep pressing.
Yaw rate.
Okay,
Keep
got it.
pressing and holding.
Yep, I got trim button flashed, and then I got yaw rate warning.
Yaw rate.
Okay, sweet. And if you zoom out when you do that, you'll actually see your stick moving back from the trim, coming back towards your lap.
Let's try that again.
Yaw rate.
So kind of interesting.
Yaw rate.
Yeah, okay.
And so the trim in the F-15 actually moves the entire control column, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
Anyway, we should be ready to take off. And oh, one more thing. I just noticed that your HUD is in air-to-air mode. You can set it to nav mode.
Roger that.
It's kind of weird. The air-to-air, air-to-ground nav master modes aren't like the ones in the F-16 and the F-18 where they completely change how your jet works.
Right.
But what it does is it gives you better symbology for each thing you're trying to do.
Right.
But air-to-ground weapons only work in air-to-grounds or nav mode.
Okay.
So it's kind of a weird, different way of doing master modes.
Right. Interestingly enough, I just looked at something here on my... So if I press the button here, it doesn't work unless I flip my switch up. That's about... Okay, I'll have to check that.
So that's a conflict between that switch and pressing with your mouse.
Yeah.
So if you cleared that out, you can then use your mouse no problem on those. But
Okay.
Either way you want to do it's totally valid.
Okay.
All right. When you're ready, let's climb to 15,000 feet, 350 knots indicated, and we will take the runway.
Copy that.
We'll fly to waypoint 1, or steer point 1, I should say, in the F-15.
Copy that. You said 15,000?
Yeah, 15,000.
All right.
Make sure that to rotate at 150 knots with this big chunky loadout, and also get your gear and flaps sucked up as quickly as you can off the runway so you don't overspeed them.
Copy that. All right, rolling.
She's a fast jet.
And 150, rotate. Oh, she is heavy at the front.
Oh yeah.
Gear up.
You're probably going to need to get
Flaps
some
up.
nose down trim in there right away.
Yep.
Or she'll probably rise pretty quick on you.
Yep. Got the trim. And gently climbing out 10 degrees.
All right. Yeah, once that... it's interesting. Once the gear and the flaps come up, that nose-up trim really gets you. That takeoff nose-up trim, and then you got to really trim her out, like, right away.
So, am I back into normal trim then, or does the... I'm not
Yeah,
into...
no,
Okay.
you're good. So think of the jet, it's not fly-by-wire, so it's more like flying the Tomcat than it is flying the Hornet or the Viper.
Right.
So you have to trim it out all the time.
Interesting. Okay, it's steer point 1 now. It looks like it's straight ahead on our...
Yep, you got it. And I'm 8 miles out, you're probably a little closer. To steer point, the steer points will automatically cycle for you.
Okay.
And then also one thing I forgot to tell you to do, that's my mistake, is we need to set our radar to on and our stop. We need to set transfer to norm for our CFTs.
Okay, transfer. Where was transfer? That was...
It's the conformal tank switch just behind your throttle there. Pull your throttle back a little bit. Just behind your throttle. Yep, and then it says conformal tank switch on the fuel panel.
Conformal tank switch. Okay.
Nice. And then also on your radar panel back aft of your throttle, just set that to
On.
on.
I did that one.
Cool. All right, we passed steer point 1, we'll fly to steer point 2. So put a 2 into your scratch pad.
Oh.
Oh, you already got it. You're good.
Yeah, okay. It was right.
Yep, it's going to be right hand.
15? 015?
Yep. So that's my mistake. We were supposed to set the radar to on and the conformal tank switch to norm prior to takeoff. So that's my mistake for you.
Roger that. A little trim in here. Okay. 278 knots.
Watch your
77.
airspeed.
Yeah, it looks like it's going down a little bit. I'm going to put it back full mill. Pushing through 9K.
Roger. Trying to get into a better formation with you here.
Checking the radar here. Got a couple targets out there at 160.
Yeah, pretty awesome radar.
Yeah,
right?
it is. I'm like, wow, look at that.
Yeah. And do you know how to take command of a display?
Yeah, so the castle switch, I believe, left and right for me.
Yep. And then it's just hold it for a long time, and when you see those little vertical streaks in the bottom of your screen, you know you've got command of it.
Right. So it's like soy.
Yeah. Yep, just like soy in the F16. All right, and do you know how to switch the jet over to using Twiz radar modes as opposed to the RWS, which is the default radar mode?
Not yet.
Okay, it's a little complicated, but it's not bad. All you got to do is move your TDC to somewhere in the radar screen that is not a target.
Okay.
Once you have that there, you want to hit TDC depress to put it into a raster scan, and while it's raster scanning, you go auto acquisition switch aft short.
Auto acquisition F short. Oop, that's not it.
Yep, and then Auto
So,
acquisition switch aft. Want me to pause it?
yeah, if you don't mind. So the auto acquisition is something I must not have right. So
Yep.
Controls.
Auto, yeah, it's control stick,
Button.
switch aft, forward, and press.
So I've been on button 10 and 9. Let's see what that is here.
Yep.
Well, I have a button. Let's see if I can find it.
If you have a hat switch, I would put aft, forward, and press on the same hat switch.
Yeah, that's be on a hat switch. I don't have it on there. Let's see. Interesting. I don't have any more hat switches.
Oh, no worries then.
So only thing I don't have is auto acquisition press mapped.
Looks like you have it mapped on your stick at the moment.
Oh, auto acquisition press. Let's see button 3. Let's see if I find that one. There it is. So auto acquisition press. Okay. That is
So what?
Usually does that auto acquisition switch automatically unselect a target as well?
No, that would be your boat switch actually.
All right, so I got to remap this one. Auto acquisition. Let me see if I could find a spot for this here. Okay, auto acquisition now is set. Oops, clear. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So basically, you hit as you know when you press TDC to press on an open space on your radar, it goes into a raster scan where it's trying to lock something up, so you can see it scanning really tiny piece of airspace there.
Yep, got it.
And then as it's doing that, if you hit auto acquisition switch aft, it'll switch you over to Twiz mode.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll go ahead and unpause it here.
All right.
Oh geez, I forgot I had to go through the through website. There we go.
Okay, so then auto acquisition aft.
Yep. So now, see in the bottom left of the screen, it shows you what radar mode you're in. You're in 2 Twiz H.
Okay, got
which
it.
is essentially a 60-degree scan in Twiz with a 2-bar scan up and down.
Okay.
To change your scan and bars, take your TDC and hit it all the way to the side of the screen, and that will change your scan.
Okay.
Watch your aircraft attitude as you're looking down.
There's a rookie mistake, huh? Try to get back on course.
We're going really fast, too.
How fast do we want to go here? I'm doing 350 at the moment.
Are you doing 350? Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like are you still climbing?
Oh gosh, I'm at 20,000.
Yep. That's all good.
I can go back down to 15. Cutting the throttle, skoosh.
There you are. So maybe we should move into talking about how to use the autopilot.
There you go. So I'm 17, Angel 17, still going down.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Leveled off.
Roger.
Little
So there is no auto throttle in the F-15, so that's something to be aware of. But the autopilot's super useful and super. It can do a lot for you. To turn the autopilot on, hit the A/P push tile on the UFC.
A/P. Yep.
And that turns the autopilot on, and then you see the different options for the autopilot.
Roger.
you have the alt hold mode.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on that, a little asterisk will pop up, and it'll put you in altitude hold mode. Just keep an eye on your altitude. You're below 15,000 now.
Roger that.
So see how it's, it's like flying the Tomcat. It's not fly-by-wire.
Right.
And keep an eye on your airspeed as well.
All right.
So it looks like maybe you need to increase the brightness of your HUD.
Yeah. So
Essentially.
let me see if I can find this. Isn't it down here?
It's
VDI.
See the nope. So that's your video. It's for so it's on the left hand side of the UFC. It's that bottom left knob on the UFC.
This one.
Yep. That one.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't know. A little better.
There you go. Yep. And now that you're in altitude hold mode, that'll make it a lot easier. And you can turn that off and climb a little bit if you desire. And then turn it back on at 15,000 feet, and that'll hold for you.
Copy that. So, instead of having a switch, you got just a UFC interface.
Exactly. It's a Boeing aircraft. So think of the it's kind of funny. The avionics, at least in my opinion, are kind of like a mixture of Harrier, Hornet, and JF-17.
Right. That's pretty close to it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and just keep an eye on that airspeed because, like I said, there's no auto throttle in this jet, just like in the F-16. All right. So now that you're in 2-H mode on the HUD, you can very easily change the bar settings as well as the azimuth settings by moving the TDC all the way to the side of your screen, and that will change you over to 4-H, which is a 4-bar scan at 30 degrees.
Okay, I see that.
Azimuth. And then if for whatever reason you want to go back to RWS mode, you just hit auto acquisition switch press, and that will switch you back to RWS mode.
Okay, so let's try that real quick. There we go. That's the 1 bar. 2, I see.
Yep. And then you have control over the bars and azimuth on the bezel of your screen.
And that switches it back. Nice. Okay, well that's something I'm going to have to get used to. It's a little different than what I remember.
Yeah, it is different for sure. But it works pretty well once you get used to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, got you there on my wing.
Yep. And then you can see the jet is super powerful, so it's really, really easy to go really fast in this airplane.
Yes.
So like yesterday in the mission I was flying, I was leading a giant strike package full of Vipers and Hornets that are kind of slow. So I was like flying with my throttle practically idle like the entire time up at like 20,000 feet. It was a real weird feeling. But anyway, going back to this, basically, that's all the radar is. Everything from there, from that change in the switchology, everything from there is exactly the same as how you would use it in the Hornet or the F-16. It just is a lot more powerful and longer range.
Right. Nice.
I'm going to just widen out here a little bit, fix my trim, because I'm having some trim issues. Oh, I see what was the problem. I was fighting the autopilot. So basically, we can now move on to using the targeting pod if you'd like. The lantern pod, it just like in the F-14 takes a while to warm up, but we should have had more than 8 minutes of warm up time at this point.
Okay.
So if you hop back to your back seat with the autopilot mode on, it should be no problem. And then you can turn the FLIR switch to the on position, and then you can also arm the laser.
Roger that. FLIR switch on, laser armed.
That furthest forward panel, nice. You got it. And now you should see in the front seat, you should have a red laser armed warning on the right-hand side of your instrument panel.
Got it.
Nice. I'm going to do the same here. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now that we've got that, let's go ahead and attack Damascus International Airport. That's going to be a nice big geographic target for us with some nice big airplane targets for our kind of anemic lantern pod.
All right.
So basically, one thing we didn't do is we didn't set up our packs on the ground. So that's my mistake. We should have done that on the ground. We need to go to our armament page on one of our MFDs. Go to the air-to-ground portion of the panel. Oh, that's the air-to-air.
Yeah,
so
I
go
went
to
too quick
hit,
there. There we go.
No worries, hit menu. Oh yeah, air-to-ground, perfect. Now we need to tell the jet what we have on our aircraft.
Right.
So, sorry, give me 1 second. It's going to be armament, menu on the armament. Oh, I'm sorry. So hit the menu button to go to the main armament page, then hit air-to-ground load on the bottom there.
Air-to-ground load.
Yep. And then for the jet automatically knows that we have a fuel tank on the outer pylons, but it sees that we have 4 weapons on our CFTs, but it doesn't know what weapons those are.
Roger.
So we have to tell it what weapons we have on the aircraft.
Okay.
So let's see if we go to aircraft load, and then we go to let's see, how do I step? Okay, so basically we need to hit the step button on the bottom right of the MFD until we see the options for GBU 12s.
Okay.
So hitting step a couple times here until we get to, keep hitting it one more time.
GBU 12B and C.
Yep, we want to hit GBU 12B and select the 2 empty pylons in the top of the screen.
Got it.
And now we're telling the jet that we have 8 GBU 12s, 4 on each CFT.
Awesome.
And then normally you would want to do this on the ground, of course, because it's pretty, labor intensive up in the air.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I got get in the air itis or something. So once those are set up, we can get back to the homepage menu of our pack. So go back to the armament page.
Oh, armament, sorry.
No worries.
Air-to-ground.
Air-to-ground. And now we can set up our delivery of these weapons.
Okay.
So we have 5 programs we can select. By default, you're set up on program 1, but you can scroll through the 5 programs on the bottom left OSB button.
Okay.
And for program 1, we want to select our 2 stations worth of GBU 12s at the top. Now we want to set up the delivery profile on the bottom. So select auto for an auto delivery.
Okay.
RP single for a ripple single weapon.
Okay.
And then your fusing options, whether you want nose, tail, or nose and tail. I usually set nose and tail if I want an instant explosion.
Right.
Check your airspeed real quick. You're kind of falling behind. I don't want you to stall or something.
Roger that. Yeah, I couldn't find a happy place in the throttle to maintain 350.
Yeah, it's not. There is no happy place. You're always going to have to be moving it, just like in the Tomcat. It's like flying the Tomcat with the avionics of a Hornet. Really.
Okay. Interesting.
So once we have that set, we can set up our aircraft for an automatic laser if we go to the A/G delivery page.
Got it.
Then we go to the program page up in the top left.
Wow.
And on the bottom, it says ALAS for automatic lasing. Right now it's set to continuous. The laser will continuously fire from the point we release the weapon all the way down until it impacts the target.
Okay.
For a weapon like a GBU 24 that uses that uses a different guidance method from bang bang guidance, that's perfect. However, for a weapon like the GBU-12, which uses bang bang guidance, we want to set a value that the bomb can fall ballistically, gain energy, then start its bang bang guidance.
Okay.
So we probably want to put 15 into our UFC for 15 seconds. Uh-oh, just got a big stutter there. Probably want to put 15 into our UFC.
Uh-huh.
And then where it says ALAS, hit that OSB button and put in 15 seconds.
Got it. That's cool. So 15
Yeah.
seconds, it'll fall for 15, then the laser will kick on?
Actually, the other way around. So it will fall, and then 15 seconds from impact, the laser will start to fire.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's essentially doing the exact same thing that you can do in the F-16 with LGB, but you are setting it up fully manually in the F-15.
Right.
It's kind of like the F-16's Apple and the F-15 is Windows.
Right.
Cool. So with that, we've got our armament all set up. So I'll open up my twos page just so that way I can keep track of any bad guys that are around us.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't we go ahead and fence in? So lights out, master arm on.
All right. Lights are... Gotta find my lights here. I remember seeing them.
Just after the throttle.
After the throttle. There we go. Lights off. That's off. Those are off. Good, good.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, and now let's go ahead and select waypoint 5. That's going to be our target area for today.
Okay.
So just select a waypoint,
Mm-hmm.
put the waypoint number in your scratch pad, and then hit menu to go back to the main menu of your UFC.
Okay.
And then put that 5 into the top right line for the steer points.
Steer point 5. There we are.
Nice. And it looks like that's going to be... Let's see if I open up my HSI here. It's going to be a heading of about 0... Yeah.
190?
Yep.
Now, will the altitude hold keep if I turn it?
It should keep. It doesn't like doing that as much as the F-15, or sorry, the F-16 and the F-18 like it. So it's probably going to try to roll you out. So it's not like you can roll your jet and then maintain, you then take your stick off, or your hand off the stick. So it doesn't like to, fly a holding pattern. And you can see it's already dropping your altitude here.
Yeah, and I got a flight control warning on the thing too.
Yeah.
Alright.
I keep getting big stutters today. Oh, that's because I'm on Wi-Fi. Duh.
I was going to say, it's smooth as silk over here for me.
Yeah.
Alright, I am on 190. That just passed 190, it looks like, actually. But I'm on steer point. I see the target, and then I'm going to go back to my autopilot altitude hold.
Yep. One thing we also... A couple of things we need to do as we're heading into the target area. Good thing we've got ways here to get things ready to go. Is we don't have this waypoint set as a target point.
Okay.
We have it set. We're pretty much attacking a target of opportunity if we were on like a real mission.
Right.
So we can slave our pod to the target by hitting the second to the right OSB button on the top row of our targeting pod page.
Top row, second to the right is RC.
Yep.
Well, look at that.
Yep, and that slaves it right to the target area, and we can see that there's some fires down there at the target. And then basically we want to, on the right-hand row of OSB buttons, we have EXP for expand, and that's going to allow us to zoom in on the target a bit more.
Okay.
And we use the auto acquisition switches forward and aft to zoom in when we have command of the T-pod page.
All right, let's see if I can get that. Whoop, that didn't do it.
Should be castle switch down long for you.
Okay. Castle switch down. Long. I feel like I'm pressing the wrong button maybe, but...
Try just putting the pod onto the right MPD and just going castle switch right, and just make sure it's not a bug.
All right, and wrong. Be long right then.
Yep.
Oh, duh. There it is. There's my lines.
All right.
And then there's the zoom.
Yep. And so you're able to zoom in and out now?
Yep.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, now it's just like any other targeting pod. Put the crosshairs over a target, hit TDC to press, and that designates a target for you.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's
So
see
you
if I can...
should have some airplanes just to the right of that big bright fire down there.
All right. Think need like a white hot. Maybe try that. There we go. There's some planes. I got the leftmost plane jet there next to the fire.
Beautiful. I'm going after the little MiGs that are out there on the ramp to the right of those airplanes. Cool. So we've got that set and ready to go. Now we just need to tell the jet, or the pod, I should say, what laser code to use.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's set to 1111, the training laser code.
Yep.
We need to set a code for it to laze. So input. I think we didn't change the default laser code, so it should be 1688.
Okay.
You can confirm that on your knee board.
Okay.
So on the UFC, input 1688.
1688.
And then to add it to the pod, hit the second to the left top row of buttons on the pod page.
LC.
Yep. And you'll see.
Yep, there it is.
That
ARM
value.
1688.
You got it. And the lantern pod is old technology, just like it works in the F14.
Right.
So while it does work better in this jet, as we get closer to the target, you'll have to redesignate the target a couple times to get a good, accurate delivery, because it's going to walk around a little bit.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, the pod does look a little bit like the F14.
Yeah, it's not perfect by any means, and we should be getting new pods for the F15 soon, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically everything is all set and ready to go. We've got our master arm on. We've got our packs all set up and ready to go. We just need to wait for the weapon release queue. Once you see that start to come down the fall line on the, or I should say the ASMA steering line on the HUD, press and hold the weapon release button.
Okay.
And when it crosses your gun sight / velocity vector, it will the weapon will release. We've got our auto lasing set up and should be good to go.
Awesome. Let me just zoom in on this target a little bit better. There we go. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to release.
Yep. So we're going pretty slow for kind of a tactical airspeed. It's fine for training, but just remember to be a bit faster if you're flying in combat.
Yeah. And you know, if you compared the number of air-to-air missiles I've fired compared to the number of laser-guided bombs I've dropped, I really probably got a 20-to-1 ratio. So.
Gotcha. To be honest, I'm probably the exact opposite. I like being the multi-role guy that can shoot or can fire AMRAAMs, but is really good at hitting bombs on target.
Right. I should be more into the air-to-ground stuff, but I don't know. I find it more fun to shoot airplanes.
Yep, it is more fun. All right, I'm at 55 seconds from release.
Copy that. 48, 47.
Nice. We're right in formation, about to drop our bombs. This is pretty cool.
Gotcha. That's cool. I like this plane. It's what I like about it is similar to the F-14 in the way it flies. And
Yeah.
you know, to me that feels good. And I love the 16, so it's, you know, it's everything's kind of similar, I guess. It actually has more similarities to the 18, I think, though.
Yeah. Think of it as it's the F-14 with the guts of an F-18 in it.
And here's the drop cue, release.
30 seconds to impact.
Now, did my bomb drop? Did you see it?
Yep.
Perfect.
There goes the weapon.
Do I need to hold it or just let it go?
Nope, you can let it go. And then 15 seconds from impact, your laser will start firing. It should say laze in flashing on your T-Pod page.
Yep, I see the L flashing.
You are good to go.
Boom, impact. Nice.
Yep.
And so the laser should shut off now, right? It still says lasing. Oh,
When
there it goes.
the
It's off.
pod, when it gets masked, it will turn off automatically for you.
Okay, and it is.
Yep. I think because we're on the same laser code, because we didn't change it, my bomb went after your target. So.
Oh, it did. Makes sense, I guess.
You were lacing first because you dropped first, so. But that makes sense. But that's also why you deconflict. But for today's, just teaching you how to use the jet, it's no problem at all.
Yeah, so that thing got double whammied.
Yep. That jet that you targeted is really dead now. And then basically, same. You know, the pod is on the. I don't remember right. It's on the left-hand side of the. So if we come off away from the target area, make a left-hand 90-degree turn, we'll unmask the pod and can select a new target.
Okay, roger that. Doing a left-hand turn. Airspeed's now at 425.
No worries.
What's interesting is that was probably one of the easiest things ever for me to find in a T-pod and actually drop a bomb on it.
Yeah. It does a really good job of showing you a lot of contrast. And the pod is pretty stable on the target. It just doesn't... The only downside is it just doesn't have as much zoom as the Lightning pod on the other jets.
Right. Okay. Coming around.
I would roll out right about here.
All right.
And then just pick a new target.
That one. It's going to need to come left a little bit.
Yeah, and you should be able to come right back into the target and drop a new bomb.
And 1 minute left till I drop, it says. Which seems kind of...
Remember to redesignate the target, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
seems like a long way.
Yeah, it does. Designate. There we go, 23 seconds.
Yep.
That's more
That's a
realistic.
difference. Yep.
13, 10. Okay, here we go. And pickle.
There
Impact
goes
30
your weapon.
seconds. What's nice is it doesn't have a big impact on the ship when you drop it. You know, like in the 16, you drop a bomb, the whole thing shifts.
Yeah, well, think about how much bigger an F-15 is than an F-16.
Right.
And not to mention the fact that we carry, just kind of very similar to the F-14, we carry our bombs on the fuselage, on the CFTs, and the Tomcat carries its bombs in the tunnel, right?
Right.
So the actual arm and moment change on the aircraft when you drop a weapon is not nearly as much as on the F-16 because they carry their bombs way out on the wings. And no impact.
No impact.
That's kind of weird.
That is weird.
Not sure what happened to the weapon. But the weapon definitely came off your aircraft, so I'm not quite sure
Strange.
if that was some... Honestly, I think I just need to rebuild this training mission entirely, because I get more desync on this particular MIS file than any other MIS file I use. So I think I just gotta delete this one and redo it.
Gosh.
But anyway, so now you know how to do it. Want to move to some air-to-air stuff?
Yeah, let's do it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so let's extend on this current heading for a little bit here.
Okay.
And I'll show you how to use the combat jettison of stores on the F-15.
Perfect.
Think of combat jettison as just the F-15's way of saying selective jettison, like in the F-18 or the F-16.
Right.
So it's no different than that. It's just, marketing term made by Boeing. So I'm going to turn my autopilot on here. Okay. So go to your armament main page.
Roger.
Another thing, this is probably another thing you'd want to set up on the ground.
Uh-huh.
And hit menu on the bottom right there to go to the armament main menu.
Okay.
And then CVT jet, combat jet. And now we want to select the pylons that we want to have that selected to jettison. So let's get rid, we've got like tons and tons of gas. I've still got like 20,800 pounds of gas. So let's go ahead and get rid of our fuel tanks, our GBU-12s, and yeah, that's it. Let's get rid of everything.
Okay.
Once those are selected, and if we have master arm turned on, the select jettison knob is just above the master arm switch.
Okay.
Set the outer portion to combat jet.
Okay.
And then if you press the button, the big red button, all of your stores will come away.
Mine didn't fall. Let's see here. They're
Let's
selected. Press and hold. Jet. Nothing happened.
Let's see if mine works here. Store, combat jet. Yeah, you kind of have to give it like a real hard, long press to make it work, because mine just worked. They come off?
Nope. That's weird.
Okay. That's weird, and your master arm is turned off.
Master arm is on.
Okay. Let's redo it. So go ahead and click store in the left there on the MFD.
Store. Got it?
Let's try deselecting the different stores at the top.
Okay.
And let's try just fuel this time.
Okay. Fuel selected. Combat jet.
And go for it.
And then jettison.
Huh. That's weird. We must be running into a bug or something.
Yeah.
That's odd.
That is interesting. Yours fell, mine didn't.
Yeah, that's weird. I guess one thing you can also do is we can try air-to-air jettison.
Okay.
Or sorry, air-to-ground jettison is what we want to do.
So go back
and then, so go on your knob there for the jettison select.
Uh-huh.
Go down to the air-to-ground function.
Okay.
And then on the page, select GBU-12s and fuel.
Uh-huh.
And then try dumping those.
I heard it.
There they go.
Yeah.
Yep. There goes the GBU-12s. Now try selecting the tanks.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I think they came off your jet armed. That's interesting. And there go your tanks.
Very interesting. Okay. Well.
So, but I mean, it's honestly not that unrealistic to have a weird bug in a jet that you got to troubleshoot, right?
Right.
So, and there's And something to remember in jets is there's always multiple ways of getting the same information, multiple ways of doing the same action. In case that there is an issue with something, there, you have a backup and you can troubleshoot that issue and hopefully get to where you need to be. So, I guess it's a good lesson for anyone when it comes to flying airplanes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I can spawn in a couple MiGs here. Basically,
Right.
let's go to air-to-ground master mode.
Okay.
Let's turn our armament jettison select switch back to the off position.
Okay.
I'm going to open up my air-to-air radar.
Got that.
And I'm going to put my twos page on my right MPD. And here come a couple MiG-21s.
Roger that. And I'll set mine to 2s as well. Perfect.
All right, MiG-21s are Bra 140 for 75.
Copy. Turn in left. Actually, I should have turned right.
You're good. We had altitude separation. Now, do you have your weapon select switch mapped?
Yes.
Okay. Pressing, there's 3 positions, one for gun, one for sidewinder, one for medium range missile. So that medium range missile can be either an AMRAAM or a Sparrow. So just keep that in mind, that you'll either be selecting an AMRAAM or a Sparrow if you have both on your jet.
Copy that. This is where my 14 stick comes in handy because I got a missile selection thing on the left side that I can use.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Okay, I got 2 dots out on the radar at 80. It's probably
Yep, that's going to be them.
IFF is still a mystery to me, so.
So IFF is going to be your, what do they call it? Standby. That is going to be your coolie switch right long.
Coolie switch right long.
If you need me to pause it, I can.
Nope, I got it. And
Cool.
hold it. Do I have to have it selected on the radar first? Yeah.
Nope, it'll just send an IFF signal out there.
Oh, okay.
And if we get if they turn into circles, then they're good. If they stay as the
Squares?
shape they're at now, then they are hostile or
Okay.
unknown.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that worked. Okay. So it says I got the yellow lock lights on the canopy.
Yep.
Still not in the MAR yet, though.
Yeah. You also got a master caution, so just keep an eye on that master caution.
Flight controls.
Look down on your auto flight. Yeah, clear out that master caution.
All right.
And I think that's because you overrode your autopilot earlier.
Could be. And I could turn off the laser, too, right?
You can if you want.
And laser. Or I could leave it.
Yep. So it's just like the F-16. Put your TDC on top of them.
Yep.
And then lock them up. And when they're in range, you'll be able to engage them.
Copy that. Got him.
I'm blind on you. I don't know where you went. Oh, I'm higher than you. That's what.
I'm 15,400. Airspeed 477. Speeding up a little bit to launch the missile.
And just remember that for long-range AMRAAM shot, you want to be as high as possible.
Right. Okay, so I'm in MAR Fox 3.
What's that?
I'm in range, so I did a Fox 3.
Okay. I would hold on to the second one. I will go after the trailer.
Okay, copy
I
that.
got a visual on the leader. He's conning way up there.
Yeah, that missile might miss since he's so much higher than us.
Well, it's actually better that he's higher than us at the moment because the missile's going to go up into much thinner air for longer travel. But it'd be better if we were up there with him.
Right.
Not to be smart alecky or anything. Not trying to be like that. Alright, Fox 3. I am cranking to the left, even though it's a MiG-21 and I know they don't have BVR missiles.
It's like they're jinking, missiles tracking.
Yep. I don't know if your missile is going to impact. I would shoot a second one at him.
All right, Fox 3 on its number 2. It's tracking.
Roger. Got a visual on your bandit. He's diving for the deck.
Splash.
Nice shot, Splash. And second Fox 3 on my bandit. Oh, I don't know if my missile tracked, so I might have to go get him with a Sidewinder. So pretty simple, right? It's just
Yeah.
point and shoot, just like in the any other jet in DCS with AMRAAMs.
Right. We did a, you know, our tournament that happened the other day, our Top Gun tournament where we did the guns tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had one person fly the F15E. And it
Did they get wrecked?
It got wrecked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Has all those, you know, rails and stuff on the bottom. It just, there was no way that thing was going to do great.
Yeah. All right. That is a second splash. So, cool. Why don't we go home and land this thing?
Sounds good. Let's get a
So that's
steer
gonna
point,
be-
I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be steer point. Stand by. Our runway lineup point will be steer point 7.
Steer point 7. So I hit 7. Then I put it in the steer point. And
Yep.
I have it. And it looks like we're going 2-3. Looks like 230, just about.
Yep.
Turn right.
All right, I've got a visual on you, so I'm going to try and get back into formation with you.
Airspeed's 360.
Roger. So you can kind of see that, especially on the DCS maps, you can fly forever in this jet because it's
Oh, the
It's
range.
yeah, and it holds so much gas. And I mean, you're just sipping fuel when you're trying to just fly at like 350 knots because the jet is just so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, carrying a lot of bombs a long way. This is a perfect jet for that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, my altitude's 13, looks like 14,000, roughly.
Roger.
I'm going to put some trim in here. I can actually put the altitude hold.
Gonna put you in a Twiz lock so I can get good intercept info on you.
Alt hold, check. There we are. Not so bad to fly.
Yeah, so when you're in search mode on your radar,
Mm-hmm.
if you go auto acquisition switch forward, that'll put you into the dogfight mode.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, let me change my channel. There we go. So if you go to on your HUD, if you look at your you should be able to go into a auto. Sorry, I just locked you up by accident. If you go auto acquisition switch forward,
Mm-hmm.
that'll put you into. It should put you into a dogfight mode here. You might need to go auto acquisition switch down first to return to, or sorry, to press first to return to a RWS mode.
Okay. Then when I go to auto acquisition forward, I get S2M on
Is
the
that
HUD.
because try selecting a different weapon. Try hitting weapon select switch forward,
Okay.
and then try. Okay, so you got a aim 9 mic selected.
Right?
Okay,
Yeah.
so now go auto acquisition switch forward.
Okay, did that. Yeah,
Are
it
you
looks
sure
like
you're hitting
something.
the right button?
I believe so.
Because if you hit auto acquisition switch forward, it'll put you into wide acquisition mode and then bore sight mode.
Let's just check what happens here. So this is auto acquisition forward, yep.
Yep, that's the one. Not sure why. Well, it is. It is doing. The radar is doing something funny on you. Try auto acquisition switch forward once and then twice.
There's twice. It looks like the lock. See how it's not scanning anymore? It's just up and down.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. So it should be showing. Are you in air-to-air master mode?
I was. Let's see if I am. Yep.
Weird. Because it should, if you're in search mode on your radar, it should just pop you right into the dogfight modes by going auto acquisition switch forward and aft. Aft puts you in vertical scan mode, forward puts you into wide acquisition mode, forward twice puts you into boresight mode.
There's boresight mode. I see it. So look at my HUD here. So there's
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you got it.
Yep.
And then if you go forward long, it will put you into long range boresight mode.
Forward long. Let's go back to other missile here. And then forward long.
It's like your auto acquisition switch forward button is not working correctly. It's
You're
kinda
right.
weird.
It's because it's just an on-off switch. I think I need to put it to a hat.
Yeah, that would probably work better.
I could easily map that. So let me do that real fast here.
Watch your airspeed though. You're really slow. You're on the verge of stalling.
Okay. Let's check out here. Go back up to mil 305. Yeah. Okay. So controls auto acquisition switch was this. I'm going to move it to my stick, and I'll just data control. Auto acquisition aft. Oops, clear. All right. Auto acquisition forward. All right, so I'll try this again here. So, turn that off.
Hit first to start off with. Hit auto acquisition switch depressed to return to search mode.
Okay.
And then now and then if you go forward from there, yeah. So there's depressed, then hit forward.
There's
There's wide acquisition.
Uh-huh.
And then forward again is boresight.
Okay.
And then aft is vertical scan mode.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so there you go. Now you got it. I think
Yeah,
it was that button it was mapped to.
In vertical scan mode, I use often in a in a fight. So.
Yeah, definitely. So that's very important to know.
Good to know. I feel good about that.
Yeah. Cool. So now we're just cruising on back to our runway lineup point. Landing the F-15 is relatively easy, especially if you already know how to land the F-16.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar. There's just no E bracket in this jet. So
I didn't realize
which
that.
is a little bit different. So basically, all you need to do is see the angle of attack indicator in just underneath the airspeed box on the HUD.
Angle of attack indicator.
Yeah, see the weird symbol?
Yeah.
That looks like a fish, and then it's 11.5.
Uh-huh.
You want to have that angle of attack indicator between 20 and 22 units of AOA
Okay.
on touchdown. So instead of trimming to put the velocity vector into an E bracket, you're simply just trimming to get 20 to 22 units of AOA.
Okay.
And then it's very stable. It's very easy to fly at slow speeds. You want to land with your speed brake fully extended, and you want to aero brake going down the runway, just like you would in the F-16.
Okay.
So once we hit waypoint 7, we'll be right on the ILS track, right into our runway.
Okay.
We'll be
looks
landing
like
on the same runway we took off on.
roughly 36 miles.
Yep.
Actually, 36.3. Okay. Got it. There we go.
always forget there's no ILS in this jet.
There's no ILS. Interesting. There's a tack-in, though.
There is TACAN. Or not in this jet. I'm sorry. I meant to say not at Ramat David Air Force Base.
Ah, okay. Guess they never get bad weather.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come right a little bit. Get back on course.
Your auto acquisition modes are locking me up.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't even realize that. Let me get out of that.
Yep. So just hit auto acquisition, switch to press,
Auto acquisition. Depress.
and that will return you back to search mode.
Gotcha.
But now you know that they work and your buttons work now.
Right,
Perfect.
right. So yeah, demystifying some of the switchology for me, especially since I'm a little different with these sticks and controllers, so it helps quite a bit.
What is the base you're using? Is it a Virpil base that you're using?
Yeah, Virpil Warbird base.
Okay. I use the same one, and it uses the Thrustmaster F18 stick grip, no problem. So you could get the F18 stick grip and use it in the F15, no problem, because it's the same stick.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to have to get... I'd like to get a couple more, actually, sticks. And I would like to get a Virpil throttle. I have the Warthog throttle, but...
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I should spend a little money on my sim here. I'm going to build a sim pit, and I'm going to make a video about it. Actually, I'm going to buy one, the one that Ward Carroll has, and then I'm going to build around it.
Gotcha.
It's been on my mind for a while, but we're going to move. Once we move, I'll probably start doing that.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that just getting a couple stick grips, like get an F15 stick grip an F18 stick grip,
Yep.
which is the same as the F15, and as well as a an F16/A10 stick grip. That would be good.
Yep.
Like, yep.
Yeah, I definitely need to get some different sticks, so I'm going to have to do that.
Also, tap your toe brakes. It looks like for some reason we're running into a bug where the toe brakes get stuck. Yeah, you don't want to land with full brakes on one side.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and start descending on down. It's going to be probably a pretty steep descent at this point.
Copy that. Pulling back on the throttle. I see Ramat David down there, so I'm going to drop.
All right.
Oh, I got to turn the autopilot off.
This waypoint's lining us up for runway 33, the same runway that we took off on.
Copy that. Airspeed's 260, climbing as I descend.
I'm quite a bit in front of you, so I'm just going to go for the landing here.
Copy that.
So it's the same kind of standard Air Force landing pattern, you know, about 2,000 feet AGL, and then, 350 knots into the brake, and the jet slows down real well. It's very stable once you get the gear and flaps down.
Okay.
And then, basically just trim it out between 20 and 22 units of AOA, and you'll be good to go.
Perfect. I really appreciate your time today, Spudknocker. This is fantastic.
No problem. Glad I can help out. You guys give me a lot of time with the servers, so gotta give something back, you know.
That's awesome. I certainly appreciate it. All right. What altitude do you go in and do the brake at?
Going to be about 2,000 feet, about 2,000 feet AGL, so it's going to be about 2,200 feet here.
Copy that.
MSL.
I think I see you.
It'll be nice when this jet finally gets the helmet mounted sight and data link and stuff. That'll be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Got a viz on the runway.
All right. Oh, I see you back there. Just make sure you're lined up on runway 33 down there. There's a whole bunch of runways in lots of different directions.
Yeah, it looks like I'm a little mixed up here. I'm looking for it. There's
All right, I'm in the break.
27.
In case I didn't say earlier, the gear and flap extension speed's 250 knots, just like basically every other airplane in the world.
Okay.
You want to touch down somewhere between about 170 and 180 knots, but worry about AOA more than airspeed.
Okay.
If you're at the right AOA, you should be at the right airspeed with the gear and flaps down and the speed brake extended.
Copy that.
All right, I've got you
I'm
in
looking
sight.
at Megiddo. That's the problem.
Yep, that would be a problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez,
so-
okay.
Yep, remember Ramat David's got 3 runways. I think they only have 1 runway there.
Yeah,
Or
I was
maybe
like,
one
this
small
doesn't look
runway.
right. All right, let's.
I always see that airport before I see Ramat David, so
Yeah.
I can sympathize.
Looks like I need a turn. It looks like northwest.
I'll be on the ground shortly here, so I'll be able to look at your stream and help you out a bit. A little high.
Okay. Runway 33. Is that where I'm going?
Yep, exactly.
Copy. Got it now. Golly, what a bonehead.
It happens, it's okay. At least he didn't land, so you won't get a phone number. Oh boy, this is going to be a hard landing. Come on, touchdown. I don't want to float on this short runway. There we go.
On final.
Roger. Keep that aero brake going. Uh-oh. I might run off the end of the runway.
Oh,
Find
no.
out. I'm in the touchdown zone on the far side already.
This is a short runway anyway.
Yep, and then just gonna slam on these brakes, hold my stick all the way back. Oh no. Oh no, maybe. Maybe. Oh, it's close. Not even worry about staying on the center line, just worry about stopping. Okay, I made it. Woohoo!
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Oh, that was not a perfect landing, but hey.
Yeah, it looked like maybe you were a little slow.
Yep. Okay, I
And then-
touched down about 180.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I came into it a little late then. So, did you go through the overhead?
I did the overhead at Megiddo, and I just did final over here. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, looks like I'll make it stopped anyway.
Yep. So just be careful with how much you pull back for the aero braking, because it looks like you almost scraped your tail there.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
All right, flaps up, gear up, right, gear down, brake up.
So we'll just taxi off here. I just shut down near these shelters over here.
A lot of fun. I really like this plane a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun jet, and it is definitely a BVR beast. It's just too bad it can't fire a Phoenix because it's limited by the AMRAM, not by its radar.
Right, right.
Um,
Maybe
so
they'll
it's
give us
like
the.
it could really be could really be like a pseudo AWACS really with the huge radar in this jet.
Wouldn't be too out of effect to see if they give us the AIM 120 Delta.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I know that some people have made 120 Delta mods to the Sidewinder that's in the game.
Ah, I'll have to check it.
Yeah.
All right, shutdown procedures. We just turn all the stuff off, right?
Yep. Just turn all the stuff off, kill the power, kill the engines, and then pop open the canopy.
Nice, and it's already off. That's easy.
Yep.
Beautiful. Outstanding. Well, thank you.
Yeah. No problem. Glad to help out. And I think because you run all these servers, you probably